Hello, it's me, Effy. I'm back. I'm at school. I think this is the setup I'm gonna use for filming at school. I'm a little off center, so let me scooch. So today is something a little different. At school, I get really discouraged with how much time I don't have to read. I've been thinking of different strategies I can use to read more at school. It's not a shortage of reading material. And that's when I decided that I wanted to learn how to speed read. I wasn't actually gonna film the process, but I decided that I would take you guys on this journey with me because sounds like fun. So this is going to be the first installment of I'm learning to speed read. This video is going to contain the tips I'm using from the research I've done on speed reading and how to learn to speed read. Let's go ahead and jump into those and then we can talk about it more at the end. The first tip is to read the table of contents, chapter summaries, and like the blurb. The chapter summaries, I understand people reading fiction might not want to do as much because of spoilers, and so I think that is one that helps more with nonfiction works and like stuff you gotta read for school, but reading the table of contents, if like the chapter names are important, and the blurb helps your brain look out for the things that the author wants you to know. So I read the blurb, understand kind of the plot, and so that helps your brain look out for things that are more important versus things that are not. Number 2, and this one's pretty important I think, is don't sub-vocalize, and what that means is don't read to yourself, and that slows down your reading speed a lot. You read out loud significantly slower than you read in your head, and if you're reading out loud to yourself, even very, very quietly and very, very quickly, you're slowing down your reading speed. If you can't help yourself, you can chew gum, hum to yourself, put your finger on your lips to stop yourself from like mouthing the words. And this isn't something that I've really had a problem with, except for when I'm reading stuff for school, or if I'm reading something that's really, really dense. Like I do that a lot when I'm reading Anna Karenina, which I'm still reading. Also, if you're talking to yourself in public, that's a little embarrassing, I think, but that might just be me. And this can be anything from saying the words out loud, whispering the words out loud, or mouthing the words when you read, because that will slow you down. Number 3 is listen to music. There's no specific reason that I found why listening to music while reading helps you increase your reading speed, but it is known that listening to music, especially classical music, while you're reading helps you read faster. So like there's that. For me, listening to music with words, I tend to like focus more on the words, so I listen to things without words. Like I listen to the How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack a lot. I listen to like Harry Potter soundtracks and also Florence the Machine. A little bit of both. Number 4, use your finger or a pen to force your eye to move across the page, because this prevents what's called visual regression. So let's say we're reading the sentence, this prevents visual regression. How we're gonna read it is this prevents visual, this prevents visual regression. We read a sentence and then we go back to the beginning and we keep reading and we jump back and forth, and that slows down our reading speeds. And it happens so quick that you probably won't even realize that it's happening. Moving your finger across the page, or a pen, or even covering up the words you've already read with like an index card or just like another piece of paper will prevent that regression from happening. Something that you probably have noticed that you do if you're like me is sometimes you'll read a whole page and then you'll just jump back up to the start of the page and read it again, and that slows you way down, which is not what we want. Number 5, the first and last sentences of the paragraph are the most important. I think this is also more important in nonfiction works where you're supposed to get facts and information from every paragraph, but it also can help in fiction works where there's a lot of fluff. I find this especially in classical and translated works where it's easy to get bogged down in the fluff in the writing style, which isn't always bad unless it's just keeping you from like making progress, because we want to read. If you know that this paragraph includes really important stuff, focus primarily on the first and the last sentences if you're having a hard time getting through the fluff, because the first sentence usually says what the paragraph's going to be about and the last one usually sums it up. I still think that that's more important in nonfiction works, but people read nonfiction too. And 6 is to go faster than you think is possible, and that's what I've been doing today. I have been researching the past couple days, and today I'm putting it into practice with Zenith. I'm reading faster than I initially thought I could, but as I'm reading, I'm understanding everything and I can just think back on what I read and remember it. You have to push yourself. If you don't understand it, of course you can go back and reread it, but you really want to read faster than you think you can. And then it turns out that you can increase your reading speed a lot, because you'll think you won't understand it and then you will, and it's wild. I will admit that I was a little concerned when I decided to learn how to do this, that it would take away from like my comprehension and my enjoyment of reading, but so far like I'm enjoying it the same amount, but faster. I think this is really going to be a helpful tool for me because at school I'm moving around a lot and sometimes I only have like 10 or 15 minutes where I can just sit and read. Right now just like a book a week would be great for me because I've just been reading so slow, and I just think that if I can more efficiently utilize the time that I have to read, then I can read more, which is what I want to do. I am in the beginning stages of training myself how to speed read, and it is a process, believe me. It's just a really weird feeling to like make yourself read fast because it's a very, very conscious decision, and you just gotta like train yourself, you know what I mean? It is a process, and it's training your brain to do something that it hasn't been doing. I'm really excited to go on this journey with you guys, and I'm super excited to see how successful I am in my speed reading endeavors. The reason I wanted to speed read, sometimes I don't even have the motivation to read. Like sometimes just sitting on my phone sounds more appealing than reading. Sometimes the idea of reading just sounds really hard because it feels like I could only read for 15 minutes, so why even bother, because I'll only get through like 5 pages anyway. But I feel like if I can get through more pages in that time, then I'll be more motivated. I've never been a particularly slow reader. Like I read relatively quickly, but I want to read faster. And also I feel like the faster I can read, and if I can train myself to speed read, then daunting books like Anna Karenina, which I've been putting off, The Alphabet versus the Goddess, which is a non-fiction about linguistics, all those books that I've been afraid to pick up. If I can teach myself how to speed read and not get bogged down by the complex writing style, then I will be less intimidated by these books. That's really what I want to do. I want to branch out, I want to read more, I want to read faster, more efficiently use my reading time, and all that stuff. This concludes episode 1 of I'm Learning to Speed Read. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit that really pretty red button next to my name and picture. It's prettier than my face, so you might as well go for it. Be sure to let me know what you guys think about learning to speed read, or if any of you are also learning to speed read or can already speed read, and let me know any tips you have or any questions you have for me. Or also, I am still filming a vlog for Reading Zenith. It's going a little slow, and literally reading Zenith so slowly is what like motivated me to actually learn to speed read, because I wanted to do it for such a long time. But yeah, so hopefully it'll go faster now. I will see you guys later. Bye!